Finally. All right. I guess I'll start at 0 and give a little explanation about what I do in here. First thing in here is what I do is that we reach goals as far as like if it's sport specific, we look at ways that we can make a better athlete. We enhance the strengths of the athlete, so we use the strengths to drive the car. What I mean by that, anything that I see that you do well, that's what we build the foundation on. Because it's always good to go off of what it is that you do well than it is, yeah, that fly's gonna bother me too. Then to go off of, I had this open earlier, when we were trying, then to go off of trying to build something around something that you don't do well, where you're uncomfortable or that you're not confident in. You don't have to pedal as fast, just stay nice and loose. And I know that you're coming off the injury. I might have to spray that fly with some Sprite spray. So anytime I pick up on something that you're doing something well, I tell you, you always hear me. I'm always critiquing when you're doing stuff, when you're moving. I have a whole bunch of different principles. So I'm gonna get to the foundation of the principles of how I come up with the way that I train and how I've been successful for 5 years since I'm 20 something, 29 this month. But by the time is that out of all my different careers as an athlete, well, first of all, I have to say that I feel like I was anointed and blessed to do this because of my athletic ability and the way that I have come about, the way that I view movements and athletic and things that people do as far as the movement goes, and then going to school for it and the science of it. And that's what I do in my free time. I study the science. I study the science of every different thing from lifting aspects to muscle cells, to how nutrition get into certain cells, to how certain things break down, to how different hormones react to different things, to the characteristics of champions, to the characteristics of people, the way that other people from different types of arenas move, and what makes them great. I kind of see, like someone would say, like a person who is a natural as far as like a pianist or something that do something well. I'm kind of like, I view myself, and people view me, I'm gonna have to spray this fire, view me as that when it comes to nutrition, lifting, and just seeing movements and athletics. You know, I was a world-class athlete since the age of 10. I was a national champ, and done all that stuff. Well, enough about me. So out of all these different things, I've had the opportunity, being talented as an athlete, to get information from some of the best coaches in the country as far as like training with them and them training for me to be a better athlete, training me so that they can keep their job in college and in professional. And going along with that, I picked up and learned from them, but I also went with the science that I know, and then I did my own research, and then I used myself, and then all the thousands of clients that I've helped over time, I've developed a system that's pretty sound all the way through, true and through, from nutrition to athletics and exercising. I use weights, movements, lifting, and everything as a principle to get whatever it is that I'm trying to accomplish with my body done. I never try to tap my ego into it, because I don't need to excel past where it is that I need to be at my best. You understand what I'm saying? At any point in time. Anytime that I've ever tried to excel past the point where it is that I need to be my best, there's always a risk of injury and flirting with danger and other things that happen and all that time. So I take that, especially as I've aged, a little bit more cautiously and make sure that I do these particular things. That's how I got so efficient at what it is that I do in here. Before I used to kill myself. I done broke fingers, these fingers won't straighten out, tore muscles. You know, I'm wounded, staples, cortisone, everything. I mean, and I usually someone else would have to stop me, because I would not stop myself. I would continue to go, because that's my pain threshold, that's the way that I operate, and that's the way that I'm built. With that said, I find it easy. There's a couple different type of people that when they come in and I train, and I can train any type of a person, vanity, whatever it is, you know, from all different types of people that I would train. But there's two types of people. There's the people that I have to push, and then there's the people that I have to pull back from. And I'm gonna tell you, the people that I have to pull back are always successful. What I mean by that is that I gotta keep the the, the goal getters from hurting themselves and keeping them inside themselves. So that means that if you remove me from the equation, that person is still going to do what they're going to do. If I have to push you, then when I'm taken out of the equation, you stop. You understand? You don't move. So I always tell people to try to be the first, not the latter, as you develop. And if you are that, stay that, because that's going to get you far in life, no matter whatever it is that you do. Now, with that said, now my principles are, I know muscle fibers, from fast twitch, slow twitch muscle fibers, the way that they work, the type of nutrition that goes into them, the way that you stimulate them, the way that you get into them. Then I know shaping from different anatomic movements and the way that you place different parts of your limbs and stuff to actually shape muscle groups. You can't shape muscles particular, like you just can't shape a particular muscle, but you can shape muscle groups, and you can affect different muscle groups with different anatomic movements and the way that you move different things and stuff like that. So I've developed, with the help of a lot of people before me, but coaches and everything else, and just using myself for years and years, a way of getting into muscle fibers and into different type of muscle fibers efficiently, where you don't always have to take high risks all the time with heavy weight or getting into weird positions or doing things. And along with that line, I've developed just from athletics and lifting and stuff. I tapped into other avenues of how to get to certain places a lot more efficiently and faster than people who don't know how to get into those things. So that's my segue into what it is that I'm going to demonstrate. We're going to do legs today.
Okay.
Now, the segue that I was getting into the other, let me grab your water and let me get your top too. The segue that I was getting into the, and you'll get used to it. Here, everybody just start coming in and just start doing their own thing. Let me grab your water. And you probably heard this before and heard these things. So hold it right there. You probably heard this before and heard these things as far as technique and form and all these other different stuff and everything else. Well, as an athlete, and a pretty good athlete, I realized even in weightlifting and everything else, that there's a common form that every athlete in an athletic event that's truly athletic has to get into. And that common form is, usually if I'm about to jump, my feet get so far apart, and that's my own personal space, then that's usually your power zone, where you're building your foundation off the ground or whatever it is that you're connected to. A slight bend in the knees, engage every part of your aspect from your ankles up to your knees, which allows your hips to actually tilt back, engaging your hamstring, glutes, iliotibial band, and all the quadricep muscles and all the abducting muscles inside. Once those muscles are engaged, connected to the pelvis, comes up through all the ab, the intercostal, obliques, transverse abdominals, all the way up through the chest, and then all the way up to the top of your head. This is a solid foundation, so if you ever see a batter and getting ready to bat, it's like this. If you ever see a quarterback getting ready to throw, a golfer, a wrestler, a jump shooter, everything is based from that anatomically correct position to function. You would get in this position if a dog started to come at you, if somebody started running, you would drop down right to there, because now you're at your most stable, where you got the most energy that you could get to any part of your body. So from the ground up, that's where the energy source is, because I'm connected to it. And as it goes up, that energy flows through my body and all those different muscle fibers. And it's from an isometric, because most of them don't actually move, but they're contracted. So in an isometric contraction, it's still the same thing as a contraction. Actually, it's a more tragic contraction than an eccentric or concentric contraction, because you actually have movement in the muscle. So it's pulling against itself, and you can actually rip it. That's actually how people usually rip tendons, ligaments, and stuff like that. So once you get into this form, Now this is the basis for every movement, every lift, anything that we do in here. You get to this form. So if I'm getting ready to squat, I build this form. And so the next important thing is my core. I work my core, and I don't wear a belt on purpose, because anytime that I add something to assist me in anything that I have to do, I'm taking away from some connection to my body, something that I should be feeling injury. Like the only way that I do that if I'm like in a powerlifting meeting, and it's just for safety, and I have to do it like I got all this weight on me, and it's just a risk reward. Or if I wear straps, it's because I can't hold the weight for as much as I need to get into the muscle, for as much as I need to put on the muscle. But any other instance for that, I've gotten away from probably over 10 years, well over 10 years, away from any of those contractions and everything, because it takes away from the whole development of the body. In the core, no matter, yep, go ahead. Anytime you need to, right? So back to what I was talking about as far as how the core is. So you know about the core muscles and everything else. Now the natural in the core muscles to really totally activate them is controlled by the lungs. The air that you bring in for your diaphragm to fill up, which actually tightens all the core muscles, and when you blow out. But the oxygen is also a natural stabilizing weight belt, no matter what exercise it is that you're doing. But it's also an energy source too, so that lactic acid and other things don't build up. So as you go from the anaerobic to the aerobic capacity of a muscle, it actually becomes fuel inside that muscle. So you use it also as an energy source. So if you hold your breath the whole time, you won't be able to go as far as you will into the aerobic capacity, because you're cutting off an energy source, and you'll have a quick buildup of lactic acid once you cross over one energy source. So ATP is always the primary energy source, but the way that it gets into the muscle itself, to the mitochondria to be used as fuel to give off, you know what I'm saying, the contraction or the signal for the contraction, is carry oxygen and other things in it. You know, so as you deplete one energy source, you go into another energy source, you go into the glycogen, fatty acids, and oxygen energy source, you know, all those particular things. So people saying it is, and this is the way people teach it, but it's not. It's really not true, and I'll probably need to make a video to reteach how to do this. So the breathing aspect of it is, and I'm probably boring you to death, but once we get to the workout, you're going to understand why it's so important. The breathing aspect of it is, before you about to go down, Since I'm working with my quads, and it's actually the stretching part of it, the eccentric part of it, the downward movement. Take a deep breath, fill my diaphragm, hold it in, till I get down here. Once I start the up, I release it. So it's actually hold it. They say take a deep breath when you get down below. As you don't. Once you start the up, and as you get through it, past where the core muscle will be engaged at, you go out, deep breath, and it leaves the same down. Now, because the way that I train, sometimes we go for speed, sometimes we go at a fast rate, sometimes we go at a walking pace, sometimes we go at a jogging pace. So in a fast rate, the breathing source, if I was doing my chest, it will be. So I keep oxygen inside my lungs. I never fully blow it out. I never fully take it all the way in. So I'm going to fatigue a lot faster. The lactic acid is going to build up a lot faster. But I am getting energy, some oxygen in there. I'm not going to pass out, and I'm not going to quit so far. So on a walking pace, you really don't have to worry about it. So a walking pace. On a jogging pace, you see what I'm saying? The faster I go, the less oxygen that I'm taking in. The deeper I go, the heavier usually the weight is. The more I have to pay attention to what it is, the deeper the breath. So the more danger that I feel that I'm going to place myself in weight-wise or activity-wise, I take a deep breath. Like if you're about to jump off a high board or something like that, and then you jump. You understand what I'm saying? Because then that's your body's natural way of building itself up and putting all its defense mechanisms to stabilize it. You don't, and then just jump off. You understand? And that's just the normal, natural way. People don't understand that, but there's a lot of things that occur natural that are relevant in working out and in exercising and in athletics. So, with that said, we're going to get to working out now. I know this may seem repetitive, and I know you've trained before, and I know you go through this. I have top level athletes, elite athletes. We always listen. This is resting right here for the most part. We stay efficient all the way through it. So we always either building aerobic capacity, we're going into muscle fibers, we're building lung capacity, we're building muscle endurance, we're doing fast twitch muscle fibers, so it's traumatic, or either we're building strength through all the different systems while maintaining our cardiovascular and our aerobic capacity, pushing that out. So the better shape that we get in, the better athlete that we are, the more work that we can do, the faster we can get to where we're trying to go. No matter what it is that we're trying to do, even if we're trying to gain muscle. Now I'm going to get into some basic principles of lifting when you're doing squats. The number one principle that's overlooked, most people think is actually the squatting motion. The number one principle is a bar placement. So if you see where this bar is across my shoulders, this is called a high bar placement. With the high bar placement, it does two things. It allows my spine to stay up more straight and neutral and stay full as I go down on a descension on my squat. I always do most of my movements as a bodybuilder or as a physique person or as a technical CrossFit person with a high bar and a technical lifting thing like this, because it gives less injury or room for injury. So as you see me from the side with the high bar, then there is a low bar placement. Now the low bar placement comes off my shoulders a little bit. Now the low bar placement is good for a couple of things. If I'm a power lifter, low bar placement may be good. If I don't have good flexibility or range of motion and I'm doing a squat, I would demonstrate the low bar first, because this is what I don't want you to do, but it's okay if this is what we're trying to do. You understand? So with a low bar thing, now I'll go for feet placement. With a low bar squat from a neutral stance with my feet pretty much pointing straight forward, will not turn outward, which is called sumo. With a low bar placement, my spine has got to go forward for the bar to stay over my feet in the center of gravity. But the main thing I'm trying to do, I'm not going to drop down in here, that's with my feet forward. Most power lifters do not lift like that, and I'll do it this way too. Most power lifters do not lift with a feet forward, low bar placement, and get down here, because it's really easy to get stuck and get off center of gravity, and you can't really get a good bounce. They usually use a high bar for this, because you can watch the spine, you can see how my butt drops in, and you can see how I get a good bounce out of there, and how my spine or my butt doesn't protrude out. Now, what a low bar spot squat is halfway decent. If, like I said, you have limited range of motion, and you use what is called a sumo stance in your squat or your deadlift. That's with your feet out wide, using the abducting muscles and using the glute muscles, so you're incorporating more muscle fibers. So this is a neutral stance, mainly quads, a little bit of the posterior chain or the back part of your legs, the hamstrings and glute muscles when you go down, but not that much. Here is a sumo, low bar, incorporating more muscle groups, sort of bigger lift, and then with the sumo, you're going to want, let me switch back. With a neutral, you don't have a natural stoppage in your hip joints when you get down there, so that's why a lot of people bounce out of there when they do a neutral stance. So the hips will drop lower than their knees. In a sumo and a powerlifting competition, your hips only need to drop as low as your knees before you start coming up. So with a low bar, you can see how you can get away with and that account. So you think about range of motion now, how far you got to move the bar. If you don't have to move as far down, you don't have to bring it as far up. Excuse me. And then with a high bar sumo, which I do high bar sumos, it's still the same thing. You really can't get into it because there's a natural stoppage with the hips and the serratus and the abducting pecten and all the other muscles inside of here. So that's bar placement, and that's different squatting styles, different lifting styles. Same thing with the deadlifting, neutral. I'm doing an over-under grip. So when I go with the deadlift, I do the same thing. Air, and that's going to keep me up as if opposed to if I go and I grab it, you'll see me bend over because I don't have air in my lung. So now you see my back is right out here. So the first thing that's going to happen is my butt is going to kick out, the bar is going to get away from my body, and it's going to be a stiff leg, all hamstring, no quad work in there, and there's going to be a lot of stress on my lower back. So just from the deficiency, unless you're trying to do a stiff leg, but you still want to do it with air in there, just from a deficiency in your technical lifting aspect of it, you're not going to be able to maximize to get to where you want to go because you're going to injure yourself and you're going to put strains on other parts of your lower back, you know what I'm saying, in your lumbar region. So always a deep breath, even before I grab the bar. Get down here, see I blow out, take another deep breath, and you can see my spine angle. So it feels like my knees is over the bar, and I bring the bar up over, my hips come through, my knees come back over the bar, and my hips come back through. You always see this, you'll always see the efficient movement. I keep my arms long, and I keep my arms neutrally hanging here, and this probably don't mean a lot to you, but to power lifters and other people, the bar is here, I put my hand out here, you see how much farther up I gotta bring the bar up, and there's more pressure on my shoulders. Here, I can hold more weight, and it's natural because my arms are hanging straight down. And on a neutral, I keep my hands inside my knees and bring it up over. On a sumo, I bring my hands slightly in, turn it in. Same principle. Deep air down here. Now go right here. I use a sumo, and I prefer sumo because there's a lot shorter distance than that distance right there when I'm bringing it up, and if I want to lift big weight. And I also use it for my abducting muscles when I do that. So now you get to come, after all my big mouth talking, you can actually put your gloves. If you need them when we're holding the bar, we're going to actually do some work today. We're going to actually get after it. So I don't think this is going to be a gap session. If you want to put on your gloves and put them on, listen, you have to go at your own rate. How's your back, brother?
That's fine. I'm
Okay.
just scared.
Huh?
I'm just scared.
Oh, no, don't be scared. We're going to go at your own rate. So you're going to face me. And we're going to, first of all, we're going to, go ahead, face me in front of the chair. Be relaxed. Act like you're about to jump up and touch the ceiling. So if you're about to jump, get your feet ready to jump. There you go. Sit, grandstand. Just move your feet like you're getting ready to jump. All right. And that's your power base right there. That's your natural movement. That's where you're most powerful, where you're most balanced at. If I push you, you won't move. So remember, unless I say we're doing something else, that will always be the position that you get in for your squats or anything else. Now, if I want to work more lateral outside, I'll have you bring your feet inside together. If I want to work more medial, I'm going to turn it outside, and it's going to be like a ballerina. But that's only if I want to work certain muscle groups, and I will tell you and give you indicators into that. But when I say let's get ready for squat, you do the same thing like you're getting ready to jump. Stay relaxed. Now you want to slight bend your knees, hips so slightly up. There you go. Chest up. There you go. I want you to take a deep breath. Just like if you were at the doctor. When the doctor comes and he puts the stethoscope on your back to listen to your lungs, I want you to take that kind of breath in. Because now you filled up your diaphragm and you go breathe up. And then you hold it down low into your abdomen. You understand? So you hold it like you're about to take a poop almost, or like you're about to poop or something. And that's going to make sure that you take care of all of them core muscles, and it's actually going to keep your diaphragm up, and it's actually going to be your stabilizer for anything that you do. So the first thing they usually get for everybody is this area right here. So you can be as strong as you want. That's why people wear belts. You can be as strong as you want to, but if you don't control that area right there, that will give long before you get into the muscle work, the muscle how you want to work it. So you lose a percentage every time you don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Now I want you to go ahead, doing that same thing. Take a deep breath. Now I want you to lay down with your butt like you're going to sit in a chair, and back up with your chest. Hips go through. Lay down with your butt like you're sitting in a chair, back up with your chest. Put your arms spread out. Or just put them straight. Don't touch with your hands. Let them hang right there. Just because when you're actually doing squat or something, you usually have your arms up here. And if you keep them here, it actually assists a little bit. Ready? Deep breath. All right. Deep breath. All right. Now I'm going to tell you now the next thing. I'll let you do it just your own way. Do it again. Do it again. Ready? Do a squat. Deep breath. Go down and go up. All right. Now the next most important thing, which I didn't explain earlier, is head placement. If my head goes down like this, my spine will roll over, and it changes the angle of my spine. My head stay neutral is usually good, but people usually drop their head. So no matter whatever it is I'm doing, from benching to squatting to anything else, I always take an angle like this when my chin is up. So I always like you balancing something on the top of your head, and that's going to put your spine in the correct angle, and that's going to help you when you're driving up to keep you up. Instead of when your head is down, you'll pop your butt out and you'll come up like this. So when you're like this, you'll lead up like this. So that's with everything. What I'm telling you right now, this works for every movement, from biceps, triceps, calves, abs, bench, shoulders. This is universal. I always start with this because this is the number one foundation of building any kind of exercise routine, any kind of athletic venture. If you can understand and you can master this right here, you can build your body into anything you want to build it into. This is the secret that most people don't pay the most emphasis and pay the most attention. Anytime you ever see me do anything, regardless of what angle I'm creating, you always see me in that posture, and it's become second nature. So the first thing you do, you get relaxed, unlock your knees will never lock. Now you slide up at a 45 angle, chin up a little bit more, take a deep breath, and down, and up. See how much more balanced you are? Your eyes, there you go. All right, now I want you to do something else. I want you to take a deep breath, blow it out, and I want you to relax. And this is what I mean by it. Act like you know what you're doing. I'm gonna tell you what, for real. And it sounds really like whatever. When you cross from here to here, over here you can be as timid and as whatever as you want to be, and you can be back in your own who you are. When you cross over to there, or anytime you cross over to the gym over there, you can kill yourself. And it's dangerous, and you can hurt yourself, or you can kill someone else. And you could not be trying to do it, but your lack of attention and a lack of confidence may cause an accident for yourself or for someone else. So fake it till you make it, act confident, feel like you know what you're doing, feel like you're bringing the energy over here, be aggressive, know that this is where you're building. It only lasts for X amount of time when you're over here, and then you go back and be whoever you want to be, but when you're over here, be aggressive. I'm going to tell you the reason why I said that, and you're not going to understand, you should understand it. Your eyes tells everything about what it is that's going on inside you. So, if your eyes is saying one thing, if your eyes is focused, if you can focus your eyes, if you get a look in your eyes, even if you're staring off into whatever, you can actually harness whatever it is that you need to bring to whatever it is that you're doing. So your eyes will control that, and then the next thing, which is when you need to relax. If you loosen your jaws and let your jaws go loose, that's why when you see runners or track people, they say don't do this, because once this tight, it goes down the neck, goes into the shoulder, and if you try to crack a whip and you got it tight, you gotta be fluid for it to go. Okay, so when we get ready to start, you come over here, we're in the zone. You get a spot on the ceiling. Now your eyes have to lock in there. When your eyes wander, that means your mind is wander. That means that you're not in the muscle. That means that you're not in the movement. It means that you're not thinking about what it is that you're doing. It means there's a possibility that you're going to hurt yourself, that you're wandering somewhere else. You understand what I'm saying? And for safety reasons, you don't want to wander when you're doing this. You understand? You're only in it for X amount of seconds. So you need to pay attention to the detail in it for those X amount of seconds. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So eyes up, spot a good spot. Getting ready, you got your feet loose, like you're ready to jump. Everything starts like you're about to jump. Even you about to bench. If you get this feeling right here, you're probably in the right position. Just like before you're about to jump off or jump up. So spot your eyes. The next thing is a deep breath. Then knee down with your butt and up. See how much better that was? Perfect. There you go. Again. Perfect. Get your head a little higher. Get a little arrogance about it. There you go. And up. That'll lead up with your chest. Go again. Perfect. Again. Perfect. One more again. Perfect. Perfect. Now you have a perfect squat. Go ahead. I'm going to push this across so now you get the feeling. This is a high bar. Sits across the shoulder blade. Feel that? Right below that little bump right there. You get it up too high, you'll push your head and your neck forward when the bar is like this, and then you can't have your chin up. So I'll place the bar, then the first thing I do, I spot up so I feel like my head is locking up, head up. There you go. Feel like your head is locking it up, your elbows underneath it, another safety mechanism so that it doesn't roll back. Always put your hands underneath it. Then the next thing, now once you're here and you loose, you feel like you're about to jump. Now spot up with your eyes, just deep breath. Lean down with your butt. And up. There you go. Again. Lead up. Blow out at the top when you're coming up. Hold it. Blow out. There you go. Deep breath before you're about to go. And up. Deep breath. I should be able to hear it when you come down. And up. There you go. Good job. One more. Good job. Great job. Now that's just your standard squat. How'd that feel? That was perfect. I'm gonna tell you what, that right there. I know. Listen, that right there, you just mastered. With that movement right there, you can build anybody that you want to build with that movement right there because you're releasing so many hormones. That is your most powerful movement. That is probably the most power that you produce for your body, and you are just technically sound. So you have the potential to go anywhere you want to go with your body with that right there, that breathing, and just that right there. Now everything else comes and it's just a branch off of that breathing cycle, that chin up, chest up, no matter what it is that you're moving. So watch, I'm going to show you how easy it is to transform that. Look at this one right here. I've never showed you how to do a bicep curl, right? All right, get ready to do a squat. Stand up like you're about to do a squat. One hand is to you. Do a bicep curl. All right, now match your breathing with it. All right, deep breath, hold, coming up, going out on down. There you go. Deep breath, hold. Yep. Deep breath, hold. Going on down. There you go. Deep breath, hold. Bend your knees. Get your squatting motion in. Spot up. Keep chin up, chest up. There you go. Perfect bicep curl form. Do it. Act like you're about to do a pull-up. Grab the bar. There you go. Elbows lead to pull up. So I always say shorten. When you want to get into a muscle, you don't come from the furthest distance from the muscle. You come from the closest distance. So your elbows lead all your back exercises. What I mean by that, so if I'm pulling back, I pull with my elbows. No matter where my hand is, if I pull with my elbows, that leads, that develops a nice back. If I pull with my hands, I might go, saying the bar go other way, if I'm going like this, I might go, you understand what I'm saying? If I lead it with my elbows, the shortest I go, you see the difference right there? The elbows lead that, that's the shortest distance. All right, elbows leading it, hold on to it, there you go. Get into a squat stance, there you go. And then you got the curve in your spine, that's natural. And that's the way that you pull yourself up. If you're going to pull back, pull underhand, like you want to do a row. Both hands under. Get into the squat position, there you go. And your elbow lead it, that's natural. Now you just did every exercise that's on the planet you can do, and you can get into the right position just on learning how to do the proper squat position, because you always get in that position. You think I'm lying? Have a seat. Okay, now you have a couple of ways of connecting to the ground. Your feet, that's the energy is coming from, and your butt is touching onto the seat. Now, if your back was touching to the backrest, but it's not right now, then that would be another connection point. So all those connection points you're going to build, but you're still going to create the squat position. So let's say you're going to do a seated row with an underhand. Put your hand underneath, get into the squat position. There you go, and you'll pull exactly, and that's how you do a seated row. Now you got your, so everything that's connected, that's not part of the movement, I consider part of the machine. So it's part of the foundation to the muscle that you're actually trying to work. You understand what I'm saying? So if I have one leg up and this up, this is just the foundation, and then whatever I got connected to the other thing is part of the machine, and then I make my angle from an isometric, however I hold my form, if I'm coming at this angle. So now I consider my body, my core is always part of the machine, this is part of the machine, this down here is part of the machine. These are the working parts into a little movement. Some of them might get more movement, some of them might get no movement. You understand? To a full energy the same way as if I was a batter and I was swinging a bat. This goes slower, so this can go faster, and everything else moves slower. So I can put all the energy to where I want it to go, and that's into the muscle. Make sense to you? Alright, now that I'm talking to death, we'll go over 10 minutes and I'm going to show you how to work. We get into legs. Go ahead and get grab a quick drink. Alright, I'm going to show you the rundown. Since you got it, on a squat, when you're unracking and the bar is lower, there's always a mini squat. So in the bottom of here, I got air in my diaphragm, chin up, chest up, stand up. On here, I got marking to walk out, and I'll create an angle so that your spine can stay straight. You want to lay down with the butt up, up, up. We're going to do that movement. So start on the other side of the bar. Bar always have markings on it. Any bar, any lifting bar will let you know. So it'll let you know when you're even. So I'm going to show you how to get even. I'll teach you everything. Put your thumb on. Slide your thumb out. And act like you're about to do a pull-up. Go the distance that you feel, where you feel most comfortable, just like when you're about to jump. That's your most powerful position. So your bench is from here, where your on your radius is straight over the knee. So now that's a stabilizer, and it can hold your bones, can hold all that support. So that's for your shoulder press, that's for your bench press, that's for your pull-up, that's your strongest point. That's the distance where these bars are marked at. Now it lets you know that you can come right underneath here and be centered every time you get underneath the bar. You understand? That's just the easiest way to remember that. It's a no-brainer. You know where your power point is, you know where you're at your strongest, and I'm going to show you why. Let your hands slide. See? Now your elbows dropping more in, and now everything's not engaged. So the scapula will go back and it won't hinge. But when you come out, you can stop. You got a natural stop it. See what I'm saying? And if you're inside of here, or if your hair was like outside of here, now this has an angle, so now it's going to put more pressure on this joint, more pressure on this wrist, more pressure on this wrist. If it was way out here, now it has an angle, going to put pressure here, going to put pressure here, and then your shoulder joint. So you're going to mess those things up unless you're actually trying to work that, unless you're trying to localize that. But whenever you're just going and you're not trying to do that, that's part of the form. That's for everything. I just taught you bench, shoulder press, pull-ups, anything. Now that's your power for your hand placement. So you're going to come underneath. It's going to be a mini squat. You're going to do a high bar, so make sure the bar is right. Then you wrap your head around it. Take a deep breath. It's a mini, on your knees. It's a mini squat. Don't step to the thing right there, because it's a mini squat. So you want to stand up with it, rotate it back, gather yourself, walk out. There you go. Like you're about to jump. Big air in, big lung, and down. Knee down, slow, and up. Go slow. There you go. And up. There you go. Feel yourself. Eyes higher. Head higher. That's not a bit of a walk. There you go. There you go. For sure. There you go. Good job. Good squat. Good job. One more. Nice. And wrap. So you're walking in. There you go. All right. Hold on. Now I'm going to tell you something. Stay right there. Now I'm going to tell you something that's so important and is most important. You're not done until 10 seconds after everything that you've done. So it's like running a race, a sprint, and then slowing down and having somebody beat you at the finish line. You go all the way through for safety reasons. So you stay engaged, you stay aware, even till you, because most people when they get into the last, like if I say do 10, and you get to the last one, you start pushing it back and going, you let it go, and I've seen people get injured so bad. So, let me show you and demonstrate. Go ahead, step out. You'll never know. This could be 1,000 pounds, or it could be just, because I pay attention to the detail all the time. There's no number unless I'm doing a number thing. It's just the movement because I'm on pace, unless I'm going fast, and this is the movement. Unless it's a 2 seconds, unless it's a 1 second, unless I'm going explosion, then these are the movement. And then this is where I'm going. And this is where I'm going. Unless I'm going a 2-second grab, that's the only thing that matters. And I go in there, and now I'm back to normal. Now I can feel my heart rate, controlling my breathing, and now I'm back inside here. Everything else disappeared. I was in the movement, I was in the moment, I was listening to my body, listening to my core, and then I just stepped back into the moment. So I was 100% engaged in here, dedicated to what it is that I was doing. Then once I got done with it, everything was safe. When I cleared, knew everybody was safe. Now I came back into just being regular me. You understand what I'm saying? So go ahead, step back under it again. Great job. Good work. Mini squat. There you go. Lift it off. Accentuate it. There you go. High spotting. High eyes. There you go. There you go. Nice. Good movement. Good work. There you go. Nice. Beautiful work. There you go. When you get to the top and you pop them in, make sure you don't lock them real quick. I don't mind you popping them, though. Finish it. There you go. Stay in there. Stay on that same pace right there. Stay there. Stay in there. Stay on that same pace. Stay on that same pace. Match your breathing. Listen to your body. Listen to your breathing. Stay on that same pace. Stay in there. Stay in there. Same pace. I should hear the bar hit. I should hear the same rhythm. Don't get fast on it. That means your mind is on it. There you go. Stay in the moment. There you go. Stay on that same pace. Stay on that same pace. There you go. Don't wonder. I should hear the same flick. I should hear the distance of travel. I should see the distance. It should sound like the previous one. It should be the previous one. Good job. The breath should be the previous one. And we want to rack it. And that's intensity. And that's how you get the rain on. And that's how you be in the moment. You can hear a rhythm to the body. You can hear a rhythm to the weight. You can feel the rhythm as it go down. You can feel if you get off balance. You can feel everything that's going around you. So you're 100% dedicated and in the moment and training exactly mentally, physically, and spiritually where you are working at. And then you just came out of there. You could have went for hours, but never didn't matter. You were determined to go where you was. You were determined to stay in there with the same rhythm, trying to reproduce the same one over and over again, listening to the voice, listening to your body. And if something in your body feels different, then you stop. Because then if it's, especially if it's something that you're unfamiliar with and you're thinking it's going to be an injury, that's the only time that you come out of that. And then sometimes I don't, but you come out of it. And then, but if something else is going on and you're evaluating it and it's just only muscle soreness, you feel the lactic acid building up, you feel your oxygen getting, you feel you kind of getting a little weak, you feel the bar getting a little heavy, you need to bring more energy to what it is that you're doing to stay on the same pace, or push the bar up a little bit more, you gather as much as you need from the ground, through your body, to the bar, move it at the same pace, and then you build what it is that you're trying to build for yourself. That's how you do it. That was a great job, great set. Couldn't have done it better myself. A good intensity, good pace, way to try it. What usually happens is when people you started panicking. That's what I call panicking. Like you didn't know where you was going, it got heavy, you probably start feeling your body, little things was going. So when you panic, you'll lose focus. And I can hear it because you'll get off pace or your breathing will get off or something like that. What usually happens when people panic, they can't get back to where they were back in the moment. And usually they gotta sit it down. So whenever you panic, your body may not be giving out. It just may be your mind and you may just be panicking. So So I call that leaving something on the table. You know, we're only here for X amount of seconds or X amount of time. So you don't want to spend all day in there. So you be committed inside it or try to put 100 into whatever it is that you're doing, so that you don't feel like you left something when you get out of here. And you feel like you need to go back and redo it because you never can redo it anyway. You understand what I'm saying? So, but what you were able to do, which is really good, you panicked, but you got your composure back and you stayed in it. Most people don't be able to, most people can't do that. You have to have a lot of calmness about your own self to be able to do that. Great work. All right, now we're going to get after it. We're going to do explosion. Now, so we don't have to overload. I can get into your muscle fibers. So, unless you go endurance, unless you train energy source, it's very hard to condition your muscles. Meaning like from micro tears and building muscle and everything else like that. But another way that you can get into it is by moving an object as fast as you can with 1/4, because that causes even more trauma than actual heavy weight overload. And heavy weight overload is a risk. So I use what I call like the fight or flight workout mechanism. It's kind of like when you see sprinters doing high knees or jump or plyometrics and stuff like that. It's about explosion. So we're going to do an explosion one. I'm going to demonstrate it. We're going to go up first, all explosion. So I'm going to go down. I'm in my position. So you ready? You ready? You ready? Up! Fast. Back down. Up! Fast. Back down. Up! Fast. Now what I just did was create a, what my body had to do was, if I was just going to go like this, and go down, and go back up, all the muscle fibers that's going to be recruited are already recruited when I do that. You understand what I'm saying? Because my body is dynamic and it's not going to recruit more muscle fibers than what's needed. But if I get down and I'm relaxing, I step up, and it's like a flight or flight. My fast twitch, my B2 muscle fibers, my fast twitch muscle fibers, and my slow twitch muscle fibers, and that whole core is going to be engaged just for the initial start of it. And then as you evaluate, because your body evaluates really quick, then it will lessen what muscle fibers don't need to be there. But when in contraction, all those muscle fibers, you actually train those muscle fibers, and the weight of the object is no longer the principal thing, but the speed that you're carrying the weight, which is more force that tears into the muscle fibers, that gives you the same type or even more trauma than lifting a heavy weight that allows you to build a better body. Most people don't understand that. Most people don't train that way. It's specific to professional sports and collegiate sports and stuff like that. Athletes train like that all the time. That's why they have the best body in the world. Ready? Let's get out. It's gonna go up. Great job. I see you, confidence. I see you. Great placement. Good job. I like it. I like it. Nice. Great work. All right. Whenever you're ready, go down. Get situated. Dig your in. Ready? And I say up. Fire up. Up. There you go. Gotta go fast. Much faster. Better athlete. Up. There you go. Let's go again. Up. Good job. Let's go again. Up. Good job. Go fast. Up. Make sure you breathe. Don't jump my gun.
Okay.
Let's go. That's you moving, not me. Deep breath. Hold it in. Up. Come on. One more. Up. Good job. Way to work. Now, as you can see, yeah, that goes your core. Now, you will never work more to your core than when you do these movements or when you're doing deadlifts and stuff like that. You incorporate more core fibers and you work your abs more doing those movements in proper form and actually doing sit-ups. There's a study done, they looked up electrodes to see how many muscle fibers fire off and crunches and sit-ups. And it was, the number one thing was doing squats. Working your core and your obliques and everything else, which is awesome because I like to do that. Great job. Now we're going to go down. Now that was the concentric, the contraction of it and firing up. Now it's about catching it on the eccentric. So boom. So you're relaxing, it's like falling and then boom, getting harder. And that's another contraction, catching it in the bottom. It's going to cause little tears the other way. And it's actually going to build more muscle fibers, stronger muscles, more athletically inclined body. Everything feel good?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't?
I've had my stomach done too.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Everything was okay for you though?
Yeah, everything's great.
Okay, all right.
Great.
That worked. You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I didn't think that would be the problem. It was this part that hurt.
Well, steady. You still got 10 minutes. All right, put it down in part. So now I'm up. Keep up. Down. Stop it before I hit. On top. In there. Down, sell up, sell up. Down, sell up, sell up. Down, sell up, sell up. See how aggressive I was? That'll build muscle fibers. That's better than putting on heavy weight to do that. Got it? Great job. Ready for the down big here? Ready? Down. Back up. Let's go up slow. Ready? Down. Fast one down. Back up. I'm quirking. Ready? Down. There you go. Back up. That was better. Down. Don't let it hit. Back up. Catch it. Down. A little lower. Time it up. Back up. Down. A little lower. Back up. Come on. Stay in there. Ready? Down. There you go. Hand up. Ready? Down. Good job. Hand down. Now I'm going to tell you. Now what you don't think. No. Huh?
How was that first?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. But you want to know something else you were doing that you really didn't realize that your car was doing? He was working on coordination, motor, transmitters to your muscle fibers, telling you how far, judgment of distance, where your body at in space, everything, knowing everything about your body to develop a well-rounded body. You understand what I'm saying? You don't think about those things, but I know that from just a training aspect, so it gets you more involved in how your body feels and everything else like that. And it's out there trying to stop it or not going too low, trying to go. It is, but watch me, and it'll almost stop the same place every time. You get it real close almost every time. I can close my eyes and do it, because I can feel where I'm at in space. I can even get closer. I can get a little bit further. I can get right up on it. Because I can feel where I'm at in space, and I know when to contract my muscles. And that's part of knowing your body and building it for a perfect physique. You understand? And that's closing my eyes, keeping my posture, holding my breath, breathing, all those particular things. You don't think about it. You think it's just lifting weights, but all those things come into play when you're trying to develop the body you're trying to develop. You understand what I'm saying? All right, we're going to do one aggressive set, and I'm going to turn you loose.
Right here?
Yep, we're going to go start on down. You're going to go down. You're going to stay down. You're going to go up. When I say down, you're going to go down. Turn it on. Be aggressive. Let's get out. Ready? All right, spot. Ready? Down. Up. Stay down. Down. Go all the way down till I say up. Up. Hard. There you go. Down. There you go. Up. Good job. Down. All right, settle straight. Keep the eye off focus. Stay there. Up. Good job. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Good job. Way to work. Great job. And that's there. That's it there, girl. Hey.
Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm good.
You good?
Oh, I'm good.
And that.